have such an intense relationship with almost all of your pictures.
Well, I mean, I love doing them. I can't say you watch them so much when you're working on it and finishing it that I can't say that I ever get it. Once I finish it, it's very hard for me to watch it. And when a movie opens, especially, feel very vulnerable, and so I'm not one of those people that can sit and really enjoy it with an audience, unfortunately, because it's too close. I feel too vulnerable, and take me like a good 3 to 5 to 7 years to actually kind of sit back and enjoy it, really.
Do you have a sense of a Tim Burton movie? Do you have a sense of yourself in that way?
No, I mean, people have sort of said that. I really shy away from that because I like to remain a human being and not a thing. You know, it's like, it's one of the reasons I moved out of Los Angeles, and I don't really engage too much in the politics of it, is that I just don't like that idea of becoming a thing. And so whenever that issue comes up, most people I know don't ever really say that to me. But when it does come up, I get very uncomfortable about it because it's like, you like to just feel like, you're just doing things that you love and not doing them for whatever, financial or for reasons of a sort of a brand of some sort.
Was there a moment in the career arc where you finally were in a place where they said, okay, Tim, it's your thing, we don't have to touch you anymore?
No, they never say that. I mean, I always, I think each film, I thought when I first started, I thought, after I was lucky enough to have a couple of successes, I thought, well, now it's going to get easier and I can just kind of do whatever I want within reason. But that really didn't turn out to be the case. And I've long since gotten over the fact that that's going to be the case. I think that each film is very difficult to get made anyway, and each one has been a real struggle to get made. Sweeney Todd was slightly different in the sense that things are easier sometimes when they happen quickly. I mean, sometimes in Hollywood, if things start to take too long and they kind of invert on themselves or something, and so there is something to be said about something happening quick. That often is the times when is the easiest way of happening.
Your films are so independent-minded, and yet they're all studio films.
Yeah.
And so it's like you ever wonder when you want to take that $10 million in a digital camera and...
The thing that you think you realize at the end of it all is that it's all different. It's all any movie, even if it's a low budget, it's somebody's paying for it, or somebody you're answering to something. I think that's the nature of making a film, which is fine. So it is strange that I have only done that with the studio. It's sort of all I know in a way, although it hasn't really shaped the way I do things. I still try to do things in a way and still think, I don't think about, making a studio money. I mean, I do think about if there's a certain budget that you try to be, but I think you think that way in any movie. You think, you try to be responsible because you're dealing with people and you're dealing with places and, environment and everything, and you just try to be responsible with it.
So did you think of yourself until recently as a family man? I mean, was that your idea of the universe that you have?
Yes, Ozzie and Harriet, yes, father knows best.
Well, you've always had such empathy for kids. I mean, it's in all of your work, really.
Yeah, well, adults wouldn't say that. That's the thing that always freaked me out. They go, this movie's for kids, but kids can't see this movie. It's like, well, I don't know. I wasn't thinking about making it for kids, but I wasn't thinking about making it for I wasn't really thinking about who I was making it for. I think I've always made things based on, your own inner life and, movies that you grew up watching. That time when you are a child is a formative time in your life. Therefore, those are the things that are part of your DNA. So, if you watched monster movies when you were a child and you loved them, I think you always loved them. There's something about it that becomes your energy of trying to create things that have always inspired you.